More tornadoes strike Oklahoma. President Biden approves Oklahoma's disaster declaration, and Governor Stitt signs a highly contested immigration bill into law. This is the KGOU AM News Brief for Wednesday, May 1st. I'm Nick Daniels. After deadly tornadoes ravaged the region over the weekend, Oklahoma found itself under the threat of twisters again last night. There was damage from tornadoes in western Oklahoma. The community of Cordell took damage to roofs, trees, and power poles. Later in the evening, around 10:30, a very large tornado was confirmed near Hollister. The storm had radar-estimated wind speeds of up to 200 miles per hour and a large debris signature. The full extent of any damage will become clearer once the sun rises. So far, no injuries have been reported from last night's severe storms. More severe weather is in the forecast for the region today. Over in Sulphur, cleanup continues from last weekend's deadly tornadoes. FEMA officials traveled to the city to assess damage and offer help for those affected. OPMX's Sarah Lisi has details.
At the Artesian Hotel, FEMA officials met with Chickasaw Nation Governor Bill Anatubby and Senator James Lankford to hear their concerns and offer a roadmap for rebuilding. National Tribal Affairs advocate of FEMA and Choctaw citizen Kelby Kennedy was among those at the table with Governor Anatubby. She says FEMA aims to work with tribes directly to support their governments and, in turn, their citizens.
The biggest thing I would say is, tribal nations have been doing emergency management well before there was a term for emergency management. And so the Chickasaw Nation is no different. They have a wonderful team who has been out in the local communities, coordinating with the counties, coordinating with the local governments in order to help protect lives.
If you need assistance in Sulphur, head to Crossway Church for help. In Sulphur, I'm Sarah Lisi.
President Joe Biden has declared a major disaster exists in Oklahoma, making federal aid available after severe storms hit over the weekend. Assistance includes grants for temporary housing and repairs, loans for property loss, and support for debris removal. Damage assessments continue around the state, with FEMA officials touring affected areas. State leaders urge Oklahomans to report storm damage at damage.ok.gov so the state can get an accurate estimate of federal funds needed. Well, switching gears now, Governor Kevin Stitt has signed a highly contested immigration bill to take effect immediately. House Bill 4156 allows state law enforcement officials to arrest people who they determine are in the country without proper legal authority. In a press release from the governor's office sent out in English and Spanish, Stitt blamed President Biden for the bill's necessity. The governor also issued an executive order to create a task force to examine workforce visas and permits. After months of public feedback, the United States Postal Service is moving some of Tulsa's mail processing center functions to Oklahoma City. OPMX's Max Bryan reports the move was opposed by many public officials.
The center's outgoing mail processing will be moved to a corresponding facility in OKC as part of a plan to convert Tulsa's USPS Processing and Distribution Center to a local processing center. While USPS officials say this and other planned changes will improve delivery times, federal, city, county, and tribal officials in Oklahoma opposed the move. At an April 15th hearing in Washington, Senator James Lankford questioned Postmaster General Louis DeJoy over consolidation efforts in places like Atlanta and Richmond, Virginia, that have caused delivery delays.
I know you've said over and over again, give us a little bit more time. The service will get better on it. What do you anticipate?
We've opened up other RPDCs, and they have not been as consequential. I expect these operations to be stabilized coming into the summer.
Tulsa County Commissioner Karen Keith says she's concerned the move could impact economic development in the region. In a news release, USPS says moving functions is part of its plan to modernize the Tulsa Center to the tune of $22.5 million. In Tulsa, I'm Max Bryan.
You'll find more news at our website, kgou.org, and also on the KGOU PM News Brief podcast.
At a time when information continues to come at us faster and faster, sometimes you need to hit pause and rewind. NPR's Throughline takes you back in time to the source of the news stories filling your feed. Find NPR's Throughline wherever you get your podcasts.